Pisces rising, hi, this is your video. I'm super excited to do this. And you want to make sure that you look at your entire chart with the aspects and the planets and all that. You know, this is just a light reading about which, vehicle you're driving in throughout life. And I think Pisces rising, I mean, y'all like the submarine, okay? Y'all like a submarine for real. Or y'all like the mermaids in the ocean. Let's just call, matter of fact, let's call the Pisces rising the mermaids in the ocean. Okay, y'all, the mermaids in the ocean. Now, Pisces rising is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter traditionally, all right? Y'all can argue about the Jupiter thing. I still believe in the Jupiter thing for now. I think it makes sense. So Pisces is a water sign. You guys are immutable. That means you guys are always changing, always different. You are the elder. Okay, you guys, this is why you're all forgiving. You ever notice about old people? Old people just like, they don't really give a fuck. This is that Pisces rising energy. It's like, you guys give a fuck so much so that you don't give a fuck. This is why you let people do whatever they want, right? Pisces, wherever it is we have no boundaries. Now, this is in your first house. You have no personal boundaries. Okay. You can definitely be confused about a lot of things. Pisces is cloudiness, all right? You could be confused about the way that life is supposed to be. There could be this romance, rose-colored filtered glasses that you put on life, thinking that life is supposed to be this way, and it could be either way. It could be either way. You could see it as people are only in detriment and people are only suffering, because Pisces is definitely about victimization. So you can definitely feel victimized a lot and feel as if nobody's really on your side and that you're always lost, because it rules Neptune rules the clouds, and cloudiness causes confusion and fogginess. So when you're in that, you feel alone, you feel lonely, you feel like nobody's there for you. You feel confused and you feel unwanted. And this is where a lot of sadness can come in. Loneliness, because Pisces rules isolation and being alone. So Pisces risings have a tendency to always spend time alone. And if you guys haven't taken up meditation yet, meditation is like so important for Pisces rising. This is as important as water. It's like water and meditation. Those two things need to go hand in hand for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't get those moments to yourself, really to come out of it, Pisces, wherever it is where we manifest the fastest. So your personality, whatever you're thinking about, is what you manifest the quickest. So Pisces rising, whatever you guys thinking, it happens. And I know that's scary to think and scary to take in, where you're like, no, hold on a second. It's not like, no, but your thoughts really do become things, but on a much faster rate than any of the other signs. Okay, water signs are that quick, and Pisces is the number one, that quick, which is great and like scary, because when at first you have to think about it as like, what's his name, Cyclops from X-Men. When he was young, he had the glasses off, and he was like all over the place with his powers. But then when he was training with the Professor X, he got the glasses off and he was like, so you can see like super laser focus. That's how you Pisces risings have to think. I made a video, I'll tag it below, for Pisces rising, Pisces placements giving advice. So you guys check it out below. But Pisces rising, you guys are super empathetic, intuitive. We know you're an empath. We know you feel everything. You guys feel the subconscious collective. You feel the pain, the suffering, the lost ones, right? The people that are in the mental institutions. You guys think about people who are in jail, people who are lost, homeless, the suffering, people who are dying, people who are sick, people who are ill, people who are addicted. These are the things that you're always thinking about. Like, why is nobody thinking about this? Why is, nobody has food, nobody's clean, they don't have anywhere to live. Why is this happening? You're thinking about that. You guys are consumed with those thoughts, like consumed with it, so much so that sometimes it can stagnate you guys. It can put you into a sense of immobility, like you cannot do anything. You can't move, you can't make the right choices, and then this is when the chaos ensues. You start making choices out of confusion, and out of sadness and out of loneliness. So it's almost like you want to stumble into the environment with the people that you feel for, because you much rather be there because at least there they understand you, because over here the other people don't understand what you're talking about when you're talking about the people who are lost. You know, it could be a very emotionally taxing placement, but you have to realize it's also an illusion that you're creating, right? Because Pisces rules illusions. So you guys could be drowning yourself in this water, drowning yourself with your own imagination, and you're not really drowning. Absolutely, there are millions. There's so many people who do not deserve to be living the life that they're living. But then at the same time, when it comes to faith and spirituality, something you really have to ask yourself is, if everything is an illusion, or time is man-made, or in God's time, or whoever you believe in, and everything is perfect in His time, then isn't the confusion, the suffering, all of that in the right time as well? And that's something I think every person, or many people, ask themselves at some point. It's a conversation you have with yourself. Because with Pisces, you know, you want to be a martyr and you try to save everyone, but you save yourself. And that's what Pisces rising is saying. Who you're supposed to save? Yourself. You are the victim. You're supposed to save yourself as a Pisces rising. That's the interesting thing with it. The illusion is like a fun house. It's something that you see that you think you're supposed to do, but it's actually the opposite of what you're supposed to do, right? So that's Pisces in the first house. Now Pisces, when we have on the second house, we have Aries. You need to start valuing yourself, your identity, who you are. You know, you need to start warring for yourself. You need to start building your own self-esteem. You need to start going inside of yourself and really knowing who you are as an individual. You know, you can be impulsive when it comes to your body. You can be spontaneous when it comes to your body. It's like, you know, with Mars here in the second house, you have a lot of sexual energy in your body anyway. Working out is important for you. You have fire here. Working out is good because it makes you be in the physical world. It makes you be up here and really makes you be like, okay, I'm sweating and I'm breathing in the air and I'm feeling the sun from okay, I'm here. You know, Pisces has to do a lot of grounding work. So that's Aries on the second. Now on the third, you guys have Taurus, right? So the way you guys think, you're very stuck in your thoughts. You guys can be very stubborn. You guys can only think the way that you want to think and never be movable and never evolve and want to be fixated. This could be good and bad, because this can mean you can hold your ground, and you would think, as a Pisces rising, I'm a Pisces rising, I'm mutable and I'm changing. Yeah, but in your thoughts, you're not. This is why you can end up in a cycle of victimization, a cycle of suffering or martyrdom, right? Because you constantly think that people, places, things outside of you need this imagined resource, help, guidance, whatever the case may be, from you, right? With Taurus on the third, you have a beautiful mind. You know, you want love, you want appreciation, you want peace, you want comfort and security, you want stability, you want mental stability. I feel like Pisces rising really want mental stability. And when you guys finally have something that you find stable enough for your reality, you guys hunker down on it way too much. You start hoarding it. You start becoming greedy with it. So this is where you guys have to start becoming careful. You know what I'm saying? Because every seed that's planted has to die at some point, so a new seed can grow. So the fourth house, you guys have Gemini. You guys could have moved around a lot for sure in your life. Just moved around a lot, or lived near highway, cars, city, like just where it's busy all the time. Just definitely very chatty. Can definitely talk to your mother a lot, or just talk about your mother a lot, or talk about your family a lot, or talk to your family a lot. Just a lot of communication with that and with your family, things like that, because you have Gemini there. So there's a lot of information exchange. Definitely there can be a little bit of like fickleness and flightiness when it comes to your family, and family just in general, or how you feel about your family. Like you feel like they could be fun and witty and dope and cool, but maybe emotionally they're just not there for you. Just, you know, they're a good time, like they're cool. Maybe they just, you know, feel like your friends, more like that, your family. And you could have honestly been just closer with your cousins when you grew up. Now your fifth house is in Cancer. So interesting because when you have Cancer here in the 5th house, when it comes to your romance, and you might really want a baby young, or think about child young, or want a kid or family or something like that. See, this could be a little bit dangerous because when you're dating someone casually, you can immediately psychologically be like, oh, how can we start a family? How can we have a baby? Da, 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 da. Like, can we get married? And you'll never see casual dating as casual. You know, this is dangerous. You gotta be careful with this because as a Pisces rising, you guys tend to fantasize about things, fantasize about life, you know, like, save me, I want to get married, like the first person I love, we should fall in love and be married and have a baby. And no, that's a movie. Like, even in movies, it don't work out like that if you really pay attention to movies, you know what I'm saying? If you really look at them and see what they go through. But Cancer here, when it comes to the 5th, you definitely could like drinking, okay, because the moon, Cancer rules fluids. Definitely like doing public things out there and just being out there. Definitely dancing. I feel like Pisces rising is like to dance. They love to dance, and yeah, just definitely love hanging out with your girls or feminine energy, divine feminine energy. Even as a Pisces rising man, loving to be around women and just feminine energy. 6th house, Leo. Interesting, your work. You know, you could be around people who are just like bossy, or you could be bossy at work. You definitely want to shine at work. Let's say that. You definitely want to be the person. You probably be a manager at work, things like that. A person who's a leader in some type of way, shape, or form. If you don't own your own business, I'd be very surprised. But it's probably because your vision is not as clear as you want it to be as a Pisces rising. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to, the other houses I was talking about. But with that Leo in the 6th house, you definitely want to shine at work. You want to stand out. You could be aggressive, assertive at work. You can definitely be very confident. Definitely receive a lot of compliments at work too. And, you know, that's just kind of where you feel like you shine there. And also doing your things every day and all that kind of stuff. Definitely be out in the sun every day because Leo loves the sun. So do that and do something playful every day too. That would really help with all your confusing energy to make it more clear for you. Then on the 7th house, you guys have Virgo. Really interesting. So Virgo on the 7th house. You guys can draw on people who are super critical, super analytical, people who just like to pick things apart and pay attention to every single detail about your personality. But this is to point it out to you because you don't know these things about yourself. You know, you need people who are going to be like that. And that's really fucking annoying. But the thing is, as a Pisces rising, it's just the reinforcement that you guys need. So you guys are clear on how you're coming off because you guys need more help than other people. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have a lot of Aries placements, this would be a little different. A lot of 2nd house placements, you might be a little different. You might be a little bit more like, no, I know who I am. But remember, Pisces can become whatever it wants to become. It's very impressionable. And when we have Virgo on the other side and people are hypercritical about who we are, we can internalize that and then start correcting things that don't need to be corrected. So be very careful with this energy because where you're vibrating at is the type of Virgo energy that you're going to draw in. And either Virgo is going to help you heal or they're going to help you criticize yourself and try to overcorrect. Okay, in your relationships, you can always feel like you're serving them too, and that it's just not fun. So be careful about that. 8th house, okay. What am I thinking? What I say? What am I saying? Pisces, yeah? Yeah, 8th house, Leo. Duh. 8th house, Leo. Okay, so what do I want to say about the 8th house, Leo? I want to say that you guys are secretly dominating, dominatrix type of style. I wouldn't be surprised. You guys have, oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God. See, that's how I confuse myself. 8th house, not Leo, it's Libra. Excuse me. Libra, 8th house. So, okay, when it comes to, so you guys have a deep desire for relationship, deep desire for marriage, deep desire for partnership, deep desire to make things work with somebody else, deep desire to find your other half, which I just don't think is true anymore for me, this is just where I'm at in my personal life. I feel like you're your whole person and you meet somebody else and, you know, and then you guys do your thing and make something and create something. But, you know, with Libra on the 8th house, you could just be, first of all, you could be a very giving partner, okay, very creative in the bedroom, artistic, stuff like that, using art and things like that in the bedroom. You could also be very, you know, people friendly in the bedroom, things like that. I wouldn't be surprised if y'all did some threesomes, okay? I would not be surprised at all. All right, Pisces rising would not be surprised because y'all like multiple people. We like I said, y'all fantasy driven. Y'all like into that kind of thing. Sharing is caring. and then also with Venus there, you just want to be sexually desired. You know, you want to be appreciated for your sexiness and your body and just like what you guys to offer, your beauty and all that kind of stuff. So definitely don't compromise that. Don't compromise your sex life either, because this is where Venus is sitting for you as well. So don't compromise that, because this is something that you definitely need. Now, okay, now sitting in the 9th house, we have Scorpio. So in the 9th house of Scorpio, the way that you really feel about your morality, integrity, and, you know, faith, you're very serious about it. You're very passionate, intense about your faith and the things that you believe in, your integrity, your morality, and what you think is right and wrong, what you think is, you know, law and not, what you think is wise and what you think is not. Like, no, this, that, the third. You could be very intense and enveloped, and this is where your psychology really develops, is around your, you know, your faith and your spirit, like your faith more, and your integrity and your morality. This is where you really can be very controlling of yourself. Like, no, I have to hold myself to these standards and these morals and these things. But this is also very interesting because this is where your transformation happens. All the time. You're transformed by the things that you think. You're transformed, and your psychology changes every time you get a new mentor that really, you know, right here. So this is the place where you have to play the art of surrender. You have to surrender to the evolution of your psychology. All right, with this placement, that's what you really have to surrender to. Now, the 10th house. You have Sagittarius. You need to travel, okay, far and wide, baby, for your job. You need a lot of freedom. You need a lot of movement. You need a lot of different cultures around you, people from different places, different languages, things like that. You need people who have good personalities and who are optimistic, people who like to laugh and joke, people who have big dreams too. It's not like, I don't really think you like to work at small places. You like to work at big lofty places. Pisces does rule the ocean, by the way. So you guys like to swim in the ocean, you know. And as the Sagittarius on the 10th house, you guys need that element of freedom and travel. So make sure that you guys have that in your life. Now the 11th house we have in Capricorn. So the 11th house in Capricorn, your friends, your hopes, your dreams, your desires, your network, your philanthropy, humanitarianism. You definitely want to create a legacy there. I can definitely see you guys building some kind of long-term philanthropic type of for the world, you know, something for the world, something community for the world, something that's a staple. I can see you guys being, you know, this awareness center, this mental health, this like something, really bringing something to the community, you know, overall. But you're definitely a long-term builder. I definitely see you being the CEO or like, you know, the main person on the board or something of some kind of community center or something like that will help people definitely structure things and bring discipline. That's what you guys are definitely good at too, bringing discipline and order to groups, okay, which is quite interesting, right? But I feel like Pisces rising, you guys are able to clearly see yourself over time, okay, through time, when you deal with groups, okay? Because after your one-on-one relationships where people basically nitpick your personality apart, which is really fucking annoying. I know it is. But at the same time, it helps you slowly build that legacy, and then you can help your community in overall, in a longevity type of way. You can help. That's how you can help your community, not just helping them one and done. You guys will really help people build things for the long term. And so that's what I think is really dope about that. Pisces takes a time to really get clear. You guys take time to get clear, but when you do get clear, then you guys, like I said, you guys are the master manifestors, right? You guys can manifest the quickest out of everybody because it's right in your personality. And so all the personal things that you think about, especially if you're fixated and fascinated on them, right? And especially if you love and appreciate these things, they will come into your reality much quicker than anybody else. So when we talk about that Capricorn in the 11th house, I really feel like you guys can build a school, build something that can bring some kind of long-term change that'll be better here for the future. Why? Because you have Aquarius in the 12th house, and the thing is that you're actually, and this is the thing, I feel like after your spiritual awakening, Pisces, because Pisces are already spiritual by nature, but they, everyone goes through awakenings at different levels throughout life. That's just how life is, you know what I'm saying? After you guys go through that awakening spiritually, right? Because that's Uranus, so Uranus is just like, it's like electricity. Once you guys go through that, you guys know how you can then help the collective. You know how you can really help the collective on a larger scale, not one-on-one, because the person you're supposed to have a one-on-one relationship in this lifetime is yourself, and not with everybody else like that. You're supposed to have more of an intimate one-on-one relationship with you and build something long-term for the collective and for other people through what you've learned through your relationships with other people, through your desires, through people nitpicking and criticizing you, picking you apart and blah, 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 all this other stuff, but also having that own relationship with yourself and pioneering and spearheading for yourself and being a spearhead for yourself. And so with Aquarius in the 12th house, it's like you guys are very, your progressiveness and your futurism and stuff like that is cloaked away from you until a moment in your life when it just suddenly comes to your awareness and you're like, oh my God, this is what I've been trying to do for my whole life. I just didn't know how to say it. I didn't know how to express it. I didn't know how to, do what I want to really do with this energy. And with Aquarius here also, you guys can have a tendency to over isolate yourself. Like I keep saying, you have a tendency to put you guys' self away because, if you do always feel criticized by other people, or you guys are hearing things as criticisms from other people, because that's the other thing. Like I said, with Pisces on the first, you guys are imagining a lot of shit, and it's like, are people really criticizing you, or are you just criticizing yourself? And that's what you're hearing back from people. Are you hearing from me right now, me criticizing you, or are you hearing and then you're just hearing, you criticize yourself? Because the thing is, what I'm telling you is all the great things and the things that you can work on for yourself. The thing is that other people will point them out for you, and that's why you need other people, so they can point out the little things and really pay attention to the little details about who you are. So when you're ready for your great awakening, right, Aquarius in the 12th house, when you're ready for your rebellion, for your rebellious spiritual awakening, because that's when it's really going to go down. Okay, then you're going to really become clear what you're going to be building for the community in the long term. That's when it's really going to make sense. But you first have to have that relationship with yourself, Aries in the second house. And you have to really start valuing, Scorpio in the 9th house, the evolutionary change of your psychology for you to even get to where you want to get. But the thing is that you guys are so fearful, always walking around in a space of fear, in a space of paranoia, because you have Pisces on the first house. So that's paranoia and fear, you know, written all over your energy, until you start transferring that energy into a spiritual motherfucking bad bitch, you know what I'm saying? And to a spiritually rich nigga. Until you start transferring your energy into that, people will continuously fuck with you. Because with Pisces on the first house, no boundaries, this is what's going to keep coming in, right? And this is why the 9th house, you go through traumatic Plutonian type of things to gain crazy wisdom and insight. But this is going to help you for your 12th house, that spiritual awakening. That's really going to electrify your thoughts and really going to get you on a progressive motion, on a train track forward to where you need to be next, you know. And that's the whole purpose of this. And yes, some people's lives are harder than others, some people's are more confusing than others, and that's just the way that it is, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? But that's why you need to start valuing why certain people, places, and things come into your reality, come into your existence, and really start asking this for yourself, right? And not only just talking to your friends, but writing things down and really journaling and or doing videos and things like that, and saying, hey, this is my year for 2019, 2020, and then looking back at it 3 years from now to be like, damn, this is who I was back then. That's something that Pisces risings really need to do. You guys need to actually use technology, Aquarius in the 12th house, so you can start uncovering who you are. So you can start uncovering your identity and uncovering your progressive mind and the way that you can actually help the future. You know, and there's a way to you know, help the collective without sacrificing yourself. And that's what you really have to learn. You really have to learn that, you know. And you have Virgo in the 7th, and you have to serve yourself and your relationships first. And you really have to pay attention to your own healing needs first in your relationship. And you need to start really getting clear with your own personal needs, and getting clear on what you want, and having more compassion and forgiveness for yourself, especially through the people that you choose. Because the thing is that you need to choose those people. Your best mentors, unfortunately, are Scorpionic people, fortunately and unfortunately. Because on the low vibrational side, they're going to be controlling, manipulative, and crazy as fuck. But on you know, the high vibrational side, they're going to be very transformative, and they're going to want you to get your money and get your bag, and, you know, have the best sex of your life and shit like that. So that's the difference between the, you know, those energies. And you know, you really got to make sure with that 5th house in Gemini, you draw on a lot of different people. So you have to practice, you have to make sure that you're practicing that discernment, and stay curious, because you are going to draw a lot of people into your reality, but you're always going to have a lot of options. So remember that. That's what I want you to remember with Gemini there. You're always going to have a lot of options. You're always going to run into people. So there's no need to hold on to people really, really tight, so you can have a reality, right? So that's a lot of that's what Pisces risings tend to do. You guys tend to hold on to people, so you can create a real reality with other people. But you need to create a reality with yourself, with the notes from other people. Just look at other people as note givers. Okay. Well, I hope you guys like my video. Let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you later. Bye.